Hello and welcome to Roll Out, a role-playing stream in which today we are playing Modiphius's Star Trek Adventures, and I am here with Kath, Izzy, Emily, and Mike. And everybody's quiet today. What I'm going to want from each of you is a d20 roll. Whoever gets the highest, because that's the biggest failure,
because that's how this works,
will recap us with a log supplemental.
9. That's what I've got.
7.
Oh no.
15.
3.
So is that for Mike?
Don't let us down, Ensign.
Okay.
I see.
Ensign's log supplemental.
Dear Mum.
Dear Mum. We were approaching a distress signal, which was being distorted by a wormhole. Upon arrival at the scene, we discovered 3 unusual things. One, that there was a crash site on the planet neighboring the wormhole. There was a humanoid figure on the planet. And also there was some kind of ship in the center of this wormhole. We went planetside. We had a look around. We discovered that there was a very rapidly growing fungus and a very distressed individual who believed that we were all Romulans and had never seen a Romulan, so had no reason to doubt that we were Romulans, even though we said we weren't Romulans. Unusual things were to do with, like, not the dress of his uniform, but we would later find out that he was not of this time. It was like the shuttle pod was of an old make. We got him back on the ship. The wormhole starts spewing energy in a very catastrophic way that looks like it's going to affect the local star system and beyond. What else? What else did we do? I'm running out of jam.
Discovered that there were two other vessels caught in the wormhole.
Yes. Cool, it's still on me then.
That was a prompt, not a takeover.
Yeah, I know. I was hoping it would be a passing the buck. So,
Captain is delegating.
Yes, he is. So, I do not remember exactly when they were from, but it was pre-Earth Romulan War. No, during Earth Romulan War. And so, the decision, rather than destroying the ship at the center of the wormhole that would... which was the... Oh, God, what was its name?
No, the one at the centre of the wormhole
The one at the
Atlantis.
centre is one thing, and then there's the Atlantis.
The Atlantis, which appeared. Rather than destroying the Atlantis and the 30-odd people that were on it as a possible way to solve the problem, the captain went and spoke with our detainee/medical emergency and got them convinced to join us aboard their original ship to try and put an end to this, one way or another. Cool, that's vague enough. All right.
And we have no idea what the balls the ship in the centre of the wormhole is.
Mm-hmm.
Other than hopefully explosive.
Plus, also is almost certainly the cause of the wormhole. Plus, there ain't no way for the Starship Atlantis or its crew to go home. This is a one-way ticket.
Yes.
Anything else anybody wants to add?
Yeah, we got to the Atlantis and they're crazy.
No.
Well, we don't know if they're crazy yet. There might have perfectly good reasons for starting a firefight in the shuttle bay.
Is there reasons? Romulans! Romulans or fungus. Okay, we got to the Atlantis and they're all attacking each other.
When your reasons are Romulans or fungus, you know that something's gone horribly wrong.
I mean,
that
they're possibly
fungus
catapult.
eats people.
It's carnivorous fungus.
Carnivorous
It's
fungus.
a binary choice. You can have Romulans and fungus.
Either way,
Anderson's
shit's bad, yo.
Anderson, your carpe diem attitude is an inspiration to us all.
So, what is Lieutenant Commander Talandra doing right now?
Talandra has the She has the comm, so she's sat up on the bridge. She'll be ensuring that a track is kept on the whereabouts of the away team, and a lock maintained on them in case we need to beam them back. She will also be ensuring that the kind of orbit around the wormhole that we're currently doing is maintained, because it was trying to pull us in, and it is pulling us in, but we've stabilized that a bit, but that's not indefinite. And scanning. Lots of scanning.
Commander, while we have a good sensor reading on the away team, the gravitational pull of the wormhole is making it quite difficult to maintain a transporter lock. I'll keep you updated.
Understood.
Suddenly, the ship lurches to the side, and you find yourself almost flung from the captain's seat. One of the crewmen from next to the helm drags himself back up into his seat and says, "Commander, we've had massive damage on the port side. Some explosion from outside. It didn't even hit our shields."
Tactical report.
I don't know, Commander. Sensors are reading something, and in the some reading in the last few milliseconds before the explosion. It may have been something cloaked or just hidden to sensors.
Astrometrics. What do you read?
You get. Is astrometrics on the bridge or the separate area?
Well, the department is in a separate area, but there'll be someone on the bridge actually doing it.
That's fair. They... I'll let you know in a second, Commander. And checking through the logs, they say... As the tactical officer correctly reports, something happened in the last few seconds. It almost looks like something decloaked just off the port side and exploded. From what I'm seeing here, the energy signature suggests Romulan energy signatures. Captain, we have fires down in decks 5 through 7 on the port side. What I'm going to want, Emily, is for you to tell me what happens if I roll 3 successes, all of which are piercing.
Piercing damage means that it ignores any resistance.
I have a total of 9 piercing.
Is that piercing? What's the number after piercing?
Piercing 3, and I rolled 3 effects, so 9 total.
Yep, so that ignores 9 of the thing, so that's just 9 damage that goes through.
This is also apparently devastating damage.
What's the effect on devastating damage? Because that's not one of the standard ones, that's a ship specific.
Roll an additional system. That system suffers an additional hit dealing half the primary attack's damage, rounding up. So I was aiming for the structure of the ship.
Yeah, if the ship suffers 5 or more damage from a single attack or hazard, which it has after reduction from resistance, which it doesn't do because it's piercing damage, the system hit suffers a breach.
Okay.
So which system have you hit? Because it's now got a breach.
The structure.
Structures. Okay. I wrote that down. Sensors, structural damage. Okay. So whenever the structure system suffers 1 or more breaches, blah 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 blah. Roll 1 effect dice.
I rolled a 2.
Okay, so there's no effect rolled because otherwise the random character on the ship, player character or an important NPC has been injured. That's not relevant because nobody's had that. But yeah, okay.
Okay. Captain, there are fires below deck.
Oh, have you done the other system?
What do I... Oh, is there another system? Do I roll another attack on it? What do I do?
You said that you'd done Devastating, so another system takes a breach, doesn't it?
In that case, yes. And so that would be another effect. I rolled a 3, which is, again, no effect.
Yep. No, you pick another system. You've done structures for 1.
Oh, okay. This would be... I don't know. Weapons.
Okay. Yeah, until the attack officer performs the restore minor action, the ship cannot make any attacks, nor can it attempt any other tasks which involve or would be assisted by the ship's weapon system. So there you go.
What does Talandra do or say?
So just since you just had that talk there, give me an up-to-date report on what Talandra's dealing with.
Talandra is dealing with a breach on Deck 5 port side on the ship, as well as disabled weapon systems.
Disabled weapon systems. And did you say there were fires on other decks, or is it just Deck 5?
Fires on Decks 5 through 7.
And weapons is offline. Did they took weapons officer with them, didn't they?
Did they?
I'm not sure they did.
No, they didn't.
No, there's me, there's the captain, there's the ensign, there's Jordan,
We've got
Kearney.
some medical and security in Kearney, but we did not bring our non-specific tactical chief, as I recall.
Full red alert. Isolate Decks 5. Deploy emergency engineering crews Decks 6 to 7. Scan for tachyon emissions on the port and aft side. If there are Romulans out there, I'd like an update immediately.
Does someone want to do the role for the science officer?
Looking at you, Ensign.
I guess that will be me. 2d20?
Yeah.
It's a 14 and a 2.
Yeah, you, while you don't detect anything on the hull, you can detect various sensor echoes, 3 or 4 sensor echoes in within the vicinity inside this wormhole.
Question?
Yes.
Because I, Izzy, have quite a lot. So how much Romulan knowledge would Starfleet and Talandra have right about now?
In regards to what?
Romulan ships.
Okay.
And such.
Is there something specific you're looking to do?
No, I just want to know how much of my actual knowledge of Romulan ships I actually have.
Post-Dominion War, we probably have a reasonable...
Yeah, it's post-Dominion War, so I'm just...
You would have probably had the at least a good look at the schematics before a number of battles, that kind of thing, especially as the XO.
Very well. Talandra to engineering.
I'm going to let Gwen do this. You can be...
a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, Izzy, have you named who my second is, or shall I come up with a name?
I haven't actually, I left engineering down to you.
Cool, I will just quickly roll who my lieutenant is, because I have a table here for random name generation. Let's see. Who have I got? 1, 2... so you've got Lieutenant Adam Strange.
Lieutenant Strange.
Lieutenant Strange. He's not a doctor.
Main character.
Does he have blue hair?
No, he does not have blue hair.
Talandra to engineering.
Lieutenant Strange in?
Strange, I want the... Lieutenant, I would like the primary function of engineering to be to get the weapon systems back online. We believe we are under attack from Romulans.
Well, damage control it is. Engineering out.
Helm, evasive maneuvers.
Certainly, Captain. Captain, what are we evading exactly?
Very well. What Talandra what the instruction Talandra gives is not an instruction that will be questioned by Helm, because they will understand her.
Yeah.
That she wants them to fly separately to the orbit that we've formed, so as to not be an easy target for any Romulans that are flapping about.
Okay. Now, the...
Iskander to Athan.
That's you, Captain.
Sorry.
You have a cat butt in your head.
Where are we at this point? Because I'm assuming we're in the middle of a pitched firefight.
So you have just had the above you someone run along the platform. Two people run along the platform.
Yeah.
One being shot just as they come out of the door. The other one gets to the other side, opens the door, where now what you're guessing is face pistol shots are firing out of there. These people are ducking in and out of the doors, and below you, on the same level as you, there are two sets of not hangar doors, but like
big,
large doors that are starting to open.
Okay. Well, if my comms going, I'm going to just gesture everyone like back, just to stay ducked inside the shuttle for a spot of cover. Athan here. We've not had a very warm welcome, Commander. What's going on?
The feeling, Captain, is mutual. We have taken heavy fire from cloaked Romulan vessels in the area.
Vestal or vessels?
Uncertain, Captain.
It looks as if the Atlantis crew are fighting each other. At this point, I've no idea if they've got reason to, or if they've all been affected by the planet, or I have no idea. I'm not in much of a position to lend you assistance, I'm afraid, Commander.
Captain, we are finding it very difficult to maintain a lock on your transporter location.
So noted. Thus far, we'll absolutely make sure that we do not lose access to the shuttle.
Understood.
We'll stay in touch in case there's a crisis.
Iskander out.
There
might well be a crisis, because this shuttle's going to need repairs if we're going to be using it as an emergency escape for this place.
From outside, the sounds of a firefight start and suddenly intensify as you hear shouts from two different people shouting at each other. Get out of there, Command! We know you're over there! And the other one shouting back, get back, Engineering! You've got no point being here!
Crazy it is. We'll attempt diplomacy, but set your faces to stun everybody. I'm going to shuffle over to the edge of the shuttle, keep my back to the wall, stick my head out a bit to just try to get a bit of a read on locations and numbers.
Looking out, you see phase pistol shots going along the what's it called? Gantry, as well as what looks like two people at each of two separate doors, which are perpendicular to each other. One ahead of you and to the right, one ahead and to the left. There are a number of boxes, crates, and various things around that you're guessing would have once been full of some sort of supplies, but they all appear to have had their tops opened. And something strange in the corner, but pretty much between these two doors, at the back of the room, you notice a shape. You'd guess it's vaguely cubic, except it has a thinner top, and it's got a metallic greenish yellow sheen to it.
Right, they've got me. Okay. I'm going to cast Kearney a quick look to see if he has anything other than a perplexed expression.
He looks pretty perplexed right now.
All right. Then I'm going to stick my head out and call out, everyone hold your fire! We're a rescue party!
Who are you? It's some Romulan trick! Again!
Kearney, do you want to tell him that it's not a Romulan trick? You're probably going to be the best person to try and convince him that we're actually here to help.
Let's see.
After Kearney steps forward and shouts out to the crew, kind of putting his head round the corner. Hey, it's me, it's Kearney. Hey, look, I know I've been gone a while. It's fine, these are good people. It's really a rescue party. Yeah, that's what it would like us to think.
Oh, it's gonna get shot.
Kearney's been gone 2 years. And you hear a crackle against the bulkhead of the shuttle, and Kearney ducks back in. Captain Athan, one of the people looked at me as though they'd seen a ghost. I've been gone 6 years. I don't understand what he's saying. And he was wearing a command outfit, and he took a step back towards into the door, letting it close behind him. The other one, well, and there's a shower of sparks. Well, that's what the other one's doing. They appear to be an engineer, I'm guessing. From the outfit.
Oz, quick question. Do we have any other open hatches?
There is
other hatches out of the shuttle?
There is a hatch on the other side, yes.
Okay, right. Then let's split. Anderson and Tactical loop around the side. Myself, Casey, and Kearney will come out this side. Stun people. There's something in this cargo bay I definitely want us to take a look at, but let's contain the area.
Yes, Captain.
On it, Captain.
Okay, so how this works is...
I'm so glad I printed all this.
Is Talandra taking control of the tactical person?
I don't know, is she?
Well, are you, Izzy, the player, taking control of this tactical person?
I have no plans to.
Okay.
The secondary character. Yeah. Oh, no.
Oh.
If you...
I've actually done no thinking about secondary character. I've been thinking about my primary character, so whatever you guys need.
Cool. So, Emily, do you want to tell us how this works, starting from the top?
Right, so combat now happens in rounds.
Oh no, wait, sorry, Emily. I'm playing the medic. I thought that was the plan, because then I'm not going to do any of the pew-pewing, and I get to make sure you guys don't die.
Oh, yeah.
That
I think
works.
we did discuss that, yeah.
Yes.
Either works. We've got more people on the shuttle than we actually have phys reps for. So, but yeah, so combat occurs in rounds. In a round, everybody gets a turn. Within your turn, you can do one task and some number of minor actions. You get one minor action for free anymore, and you're going to have to start spending momentum. Oz, how much momentum have we got at the minute?
You currently... unless you've told me you've got any more, I believe you have 2 momentum.
Cool, good to know. So yeah, it's 1 for subsequent minor actions on your turn. The way it gets handed back and forth is usually it's a PC that goes first, unless there's a good reason for an NPC to go first at the top of the round. Then it gets handed back and forth between the sides. So one of us will go first, then it'll be one of the NPCs, then it'll be one of us, then it'll be one of the NPCs, back and forth, back and forth. Kearney will be hopefully on our side. Maybe he'll switch sides halfway through. Who knows? We'll see how this goes. Yeah, you swap back and forth. You can retain it on your side by spending momentum. But yeah, essentially that's how the overall combat setup goes.
Okay, so who would like to go first, I guess, is the question.
Who's out of the shuttle first?
Well, probably... let's say that those of us by the door will do a little bit of minor drawing fire to let the others get out, which would be cautious. So
Okay.
I'll go first.
Okay, so what are you doing?
I am probably going to shoot at someone. Wait, I'm having a quick look at
So
the...
looking
I
outside...
can't exactly do I can't really do a kind of cautious defensive attack, but yeah.
Looking out of the... glancing out of the door, you see that there are two crew members, both wearing the engineer yellow ribbon pauldron things, and they appear to be standing, one of them behind the edge of the door, and one of them pretty much standing in the door on your right.
Okay, can I technically take a guard action but also include a certain amount of dramatic pew-pew to not actually hit them from flavor-wise perspective?
Yes.
So yeah, I'm gonna do a guard action. I don't think I need any minor. First action, draw my phaser. Yeah, I'll do a guard.
Be your free minor action.
Yep, and that'll be my free minor action, assuming it wasn't already drawn, and I will technically use a guard action because I'm not sticking my head out because they can see us.
Yep.
But
you can use that guard action to make things more difficult for attacks made against allies. Is a useful thing to note at this point.
If you're doing covering fire, then that sounds like what you're doing.
It doesn't like what you're doing, unless you want it to be defensive for yourself.
Sort of technically it's defensive for myself, but because I'm more trying to make sure that they're shooting at me, if that makes sense. The idea is then to not notice that I've got people looping around the side. So Athan is mostly shooting, but not sticking her head out because they will shoot her because they can see us. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Yep.
What does Athan need to roll for that?
I do not know what needs to be rolled because it didn't say. But it is a difficulty 0 action unless you decide that it's more difficult for any reason.
Like you want to gain momentum, etc.
No, so if it's difficulty 0, then you would gain momentum with successes.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
But you also have the chance of failing, as in, getting complications.
Yes.
Complications.
So this can go horribly wrong. But yeah.
What are running security and
I would
daring?
think
Control?
Yeah, daring or control maybe.
Let's go with daring for now and see where it goes.
Yeah.
So that's putting me 13. Well, that's a 19 and a 20.
Wow.
Complications. Okay.
Firing.
It still works because it's difficulty 0, so you needed 0 successes to succeed at the action.
Yeah. Firing out of the...
You can spend 2 momentum to get rid of the complication.
You can, you have two momentum?
And we do have 2.
Yeah, I'll spend 1 to get rid of the complication.
Okay.
You spend 2 to get rid of the complication.
I'll spend 2. Let's blow the momentum.
Okay.
Screw it.
So you...
Momentum blown.
Yeah, you fire out of the door, and your phaser blast kind of hit around the door. The 2 in the door... You see the 2 in the door kind of look at each other, and then just point their phase pistols in and keep firing.
Mm-hmm.
One of them...
I guess they are distracted still.
Very quickly, Emily, what page is the choices that one can make on, or do you have it in the document that you sent over?
I've got it in the doc.
Okay.
Which choices are you thinking of here? Or things that you can do in a combat turn?
Things you can do in a combat turn. One rushes
so pages
forward.
2 and 3 of my sheets.
Okay, so one of them rushes forward and goes behind one of the stacks of boxes, trying to move up, and start moving to your left. They then try and aim their phaser at where Captain Athan is, Captain Athan is, and fire off the...
It is.
So they fire off their phase pistol, and not noticing that they're leaning a bit too far out from this stack of boxes, they're like holding on to the box as they fire, and it just tumbles over onto them.
Aww, we're bad dice roll buddies.
Who on your group is next?
Should we make it Gwen?
I think it's probably me for going around the other side. So who's out on this side?
You and security NPC.
I was meaning in terms of NPCs that I could shoot at.
There's the one who has just had their leg trapped by one of the boxes, and in the doorway there is an in the doorways, there's another crew person.
Okay, let's go with. I suppose I need to draw my. No, have I got my phaser drawn already?
We probably have our phasers already.
Probably
drawn,
have
to
phasers
be
drawn
fair.
already. So let's go with aim as my minor action.
Mm-hmm.
So I can now roll 1d20 made on this attack. And let's go for pew pew pew.
Okay.
Okay, so non-lethal attack, so we're not adding anything to the threat
No
roll.
threat.
Control and security at difficulty 2, unless you want to add any extra difficulty to that for any reason. Him being covered isn't extra difficulty, that's just resistance if I succeed.
Okay.
Oh,
Are you
on the floor.
Are you firing at the one in the door or the one with the leg trapped?
The one in the doorway.
Sure.
So that's a 4, and one of these was a 17, but I'm going to re-roll that. It's a 4 and a 12. What did I need? Control, security... 13! So that is 2 successes.
Okay.
Right,
and
now we get to how damage works.
I take it you need 1 success to hit. Then?
No, it was a difficulty 2.
Oh, okay.
So I actually needed both of those.
You strike this human. So what happens next?
So now I need to work out how much damage I dealt him. Where is that relevant bit of paper that tells me what? Phaser type 2, so that is 3 of those plus 2 for my security. So that is rolling 5 of these. Where is the... It's too many bits of paper. Challenge dice table. There we go. Okay, so that is... Well, that's 2 zeros there. Or 3 zeros even. So that is 2 damage dealt.
Okay,
But is then dropped by any resistance that he then rolls.
Yeah. The person wearing the human wearing the very basic uniform has no resistance to the phaser blast that glances past their shoulder. You can see one of their arms almost just goes dead, and they then they look at you, Gwen, and they try and aim their phase pistol at you. Taking aim. They also get 2 successes.
Right.
Which both... basically, as you are about to duck back into cover, what...
Yeah, he'll kind of...
Yeah, what numbers
my
are the
shoulder
challenge
or
dice?
So you have, if you roll a 1, it's 1. If you roll a 2, it's 2. 3s and 4s are zeros. 5 and 6s are 1 plus effect.
Okay. So I rolled 6 successes and 2 effects.
Shit.
Bye.
Bye, Gwen.
Bye forever.
Bye. This is going so well.
Two
not going
2
well.
6s and 2 2s.
Oh, 2 6s and 2...
As in...
Oh, hang on. 2 6s and 2 2s. Yeah, that's still 6 points. That is 6 points of damage.
So...
That's a lethal injury for me, I think. Oh no, it's... hang on. It might be a lethal injury if I get shot again.
No.
I'm really glad I decided my secondary would be the medic.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Oh, where's that page gone? That's page 1. Right, so it's on the back of this, maybe? Make attack, deal attack. Damage. Yeah, injuries occur if one of the following conditions are met. Blah, blah, blah. Takes 5 or more damage after reduction by resistance. Yeah, I've got an injury.
Oof, okay.
Assuming that... Was the phaser on stun or kill?
It's on... stun.
Thank you, Oz. It's not a lethal injury. I will cope. And also from the effects, you get more funky stuff that you can do with this. Oh no, you don't. Phasers do not have things like knockdown or whatever, unless you want to use any of the funky qualities that phasers have.
So this, the phase pistol that they're using has charge, and that's it.
Yep. So
if prepare is performed beforehand, you can do more stuff.
Okay. So yeah. I assume you did not prepare beforehand.
No. So yeah, this shot hits you square in the chest.
There you go. Role playing.
And what happens now? What kind of injury was that? Are you just
a non-lethal injury? I don't. Just complications from injuries work. I don't think I wrote that down. I think it's only relevant if you get stuff later.
Okay, we will continue for now. Basically, it takes it out of you quite severely. Yeah. And you hear them shout, "You won't fool me! We know you're just some creature!" And next is one of you lot.
I'll go. Yep. I'm on the other side to Gwen, so I have not seen that shot hit. So
you might have heard her swearing or something.
No, gotta deal with the task at hand. So I am going to aim and shoot at the guy who has sustained an injury.
Yeah, the guy standing up who just shot at Gwen. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a non-lethal attack.
Mm-hmm.
And just as a side note, so everyone remembers, because I'm fresh out of my Starfleet Academy, my target number is 2 lower than anyone's maximum. So this is going to go badly. 1 success, so no.
No. The phaser bolt just hits the door frame, and the person ducks behind the door.
Cool, that's me.
Then, there's nobody else on their side, so
it just kind of will cycle through our side until we're out of people.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So, Kearney shouts over everything. Paula, no! Stop shooting! It's me, Kearney! You can't fool me! You're just some weird thing. And you can see that she tries to... she's moving the phase pistol between all of you, unsure what to do.
Oh, shit.
Then we're back to the start, I guess. Unless anybody else wants to do anything.
We still have...
You still have tactical,
and our
yes.
medical.
Mm-hmm. Tactical and medical. So this would be Izzy.
Grand. The combat system is dark and confusing, and I represent the voice of the everyman when I say, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. Roleplay-wise, the medic is going to go to Anderson because she's clearly been horribly shot with phaser fire. Okay. So she's probably got some pretty nasty burns going on. So since she got shot, has she gone down, or is she ducked down? Has she gone defensive?
Look, I'll have kind of, let's see, shot in the chest, back like that. So yeah, I'd be back certainly in cover, kind of either in the shuttle or leaning heavily on it.
Then this medic, he'll probably have her phaser out, but isn't aiming to be shooting anyone. Will run over, head down, drop down low and start.
Okay. Can I have a daring...
You've been shot! Thank you, medic.
Can I have a daring medicine check?
You can.
Daring medicine.
She doesn't have stats or anything. I didn't know I had to play a secondary today.
It's fine. Assume that the number you have to get below is 14.
I can assume this. One success.
Sure, yeah. Basically, gone.
Sorry, I'm just reading through the injury stuff. healing an injury cannot be done during combat. So it can only be stabilised if it was a non-lethal, if it was a lethal injury.
Okay.
There we go.
Unless you want to go through the whole thing and then spend 2 momentum to get me basically back in the fight straight away.
I don't think we have
Also-
2 momentum, do we?
No, we
No.
don't.
No, I used it
Unless
for the
you
crap
gained
roll.
enough momentum off of this, which seems unlikely. Also, Casey, you targeted the injured guy on the floor, didn't you?
No, he targeted the person in the doorframe. The person who was.
Oh, okay. That's not so bad. Injured characters may not be targeted further without adding to threats, or if it's you, Oz, spending threat.
Oh.
That's
So
nice.
I can't
Also, injured
actually.
characters
Cool.
are incapacitated and may no longer take any minor actions or to carry out any tasks. for
Okay,
them.
so someone who is properly incapacitated can't be a. Okay, that's fair.
Cool.
But if you take an injury, you are incapacitated.
Right.
So are you incapacitated, Gwen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I am.
Well, then definitely you're going to be. If you've gone back towards the shuttle bay, they're going to be like moving you in, doing the medicines.
So what was that noise that they make? Thank you. It's very useful.
Welcome. happy to be your sound effects person. Pew 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 pew. Die, rubber and scum. Pew 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 pew. I'm just going to do this.
Seems like
This
fight
is full of
made of
mad
wibbly
people.
wee.
Don't you bring the widdly wee into this.
So we're dying here.
Sorry, I'll.
Good game.
You
Well,
folks are a clip machine. Okay, so
So I imagine that'll take the medic sort of out of the fight along with Anderson because
Sure.
she is healing Anderson using beams.
Precious.
who is the tactical person you have with you? Do they have a name?
Do you want me to roll again for the name?
The only person we named
Yeah,
was-
tactical's still on the bridge with Talandra, so
Oh,
you've got secondary tactical. So roll for them.
We've not even named the Bolian.
We named the bully.
We named the
We
Bolian.
know the bowling, but the bowling isn't chief of security.
I hate the Bolian.
Fuck you.
What's wrong with the
Bowlings are awesome.
Bolian? Devran and Talandra took down Kearney. Devrandra, I ship it. I don't ship it. That would be weird.
Roll that again, because otherwise that's one of my colleagues.
The only ship I
Let's have
ship
Keisha
is-
Branson.
Keisha. Awesome.
No,
Keisha Branson.
no, Emily, no.
Keisha kills me.
It's that to a lot of people.
Keisha tries to move around to where Gwen was before and tries to fire at the person in the doorway, missing completely. They remain hidden behind the shuttle, occasionally leaning out to shoot. But then we're going to come back round to the start of the players, and who's going to go next?
What
Don't
happens
they
now,
then get
actually,
to
at
go?
the top, yeah, they do now get to go, because when you get back to the top of the round, it's handed over to the opposite side
Oh, okay.
to whoever finished the round.
Brilliant. So who would be visible from the doorway?
I've been dragged back in, medic's back in.
So just
One of the three of us.
You two in tactical, I think.
okay.
Yeah.
I certainly didn't. I didn't say I was guarding, so
That would have been in lieu of an attack.
As Athan leans out to try and look for this person by the doorway again, you are struck.
It is a 3 to hit me, for what it's worth.
Is it 3? Oh, because
Yeah,
you're
'cause I
behind
took
the
a
Yeah,
guard
it's difficulty
action.
3 because guard action.
So it's impossible for these people to hit you, I guess.
Unless they
Oh.
spend things to gain extra dice on their rolls, so you can do things that you can spend threat if you want to.
don't
because
You
have
lot
that pool
haven't
of
been
stuff.
evil enough yet for me to get threats, so unfortunately not. There are
What is the situation not dangerous enough for us to just be generating threat automatically? Why am I encouraging you to have threat? This is
It's
just-
already, yeah.
Ignore
We're
me.
fine.
Ignore me.
This shit's bad enough.
The shit tells itself it's all fine.
A shower of sparks falls down from the entrance to the shuttle as phase pistol fire breaks itself against the door frame of the shuttle. But it's one of you next, as the crew member who made themselves known as Paula is leaning out and firing.
I want to shoot Paula. Is there any capacity, any space to move to get a bit further out from the shuttle, so we're not just sitting ducks as long as there's cover?
Yeah, there's a series of crates. As I said, they've been moved and had stuff.
I'll
taken
run
out of
and
them.
gun. I will Starfleet combat roll, shoot in behind some cover.
Okay.
Minor action movement, main action. Pew pew pew.
Can I have a fitness and let's go with security roll as well?
Okay, I just rolled my damage.
Minor
and that was a
actions
6
do
and a
not
1.
need rolls, Oz.
Sorry?
Minor actions do not need rolls.
No, but I just want to see how awesome she is.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well,
That's
I'm
fine.
keeping
That's
I'm keeping
absolutely
this 3
You-
successes for
you're quite welcome to,
my
yes.
attack.
That's fine.
Because I got a pass and then a natural 20 on the how cool I am, so I am neutral, I think. Or am I bad?
I'm not going to give you a complication for a thematic role, but
I am 90s choreography
Yeah.
forward rolling.
you kind of do a bit of a tumble forward, but you do end up in the right place, and you fire off this shot. You have 1 momentum.
Cool, 3 successes. Now I roll damage, which
Is that because you rolled an extra dice, or is that because an extra die, or is that
She
because
got
you?
2 successes.
I got a 1.
And yeah,
You got a 1. Excellent.
So I roll
Add to
my
momentum
number
pile.
of d6s according to my phaser, which I've listed as 7, so I'm rolling 7. And then I will need to be told what this means. Okay.
Right. What have you rolled on your d6s?
I have rolled 3 1s,
Okay, that is 3 points of damage.
a 2,
That is 5 points of damage.
2 3s,
No.
and a 5.
And the 5 is another 1 plus effect.
so as Paula
But there's no effect relevant to this situation.
herself
Because you've not
leans
got
out from the doorway, you just square up, and as you pop up from the crate, you aim perfectly, firing off the phaser square into her chest, and she collapses against the floor.
Dead.
6 damage, that's an injury. Ask me how I know!
There's no one else. No more of them.
There's the person whose leg appears to be trapped, who is shouting, "Invaders! Get away!"
That's
There's some
the turn.
duct tape under the chairs.
There appears to be nobody else. The doors above have closed, and the phase pistol fire has stopped from above you.
Are we out of initiative then?
Yes.
If they're incapacitated.
Yep.
Okay.
You can see her trying to struggle to reach a phase pistol that's a few feet away from her, but her leg appears to be properly trapped.
Ensign Casey, check up on the commander. I'm going to gesture to what's our Keisha? What the hell's our security's name now?
Keisha.
Keisha.
Branson.
Ensign Branson, and to Ensign Branson with me, and we're going to move. I want to head for the gantry to check up on our survivor.
No, the person whose leg is trapped is on the same floor as you. They're the person who went for the boxes and they fell on them.
We'll go for them then.
Okay. As you start to approach, they try and kind of back off.
Mm-hmm.
They look quite scared. No. Get away. Reaching for the... It's a few feet away. It doesn't look like they're going to get it.
Yeah. Stop right there. We're not going to hurt you. It's okay. We are a rescue party. We're with Kearney. You're going to say, we aren't going to hurt you.
I've never seen... What are you wearing?
Please don't reach for that. We are here to help you. We're with Kearney. He's fine. He's unharmed. We're going to stop this situation. We're going to help all of this.
Kearney's been gone for 2 years.
You're in a
think I'm an
wormhole.
idiot?
You're trapped in a spatial anomaly. There is temporal distortion. That's why you've been stuck here.
Can you give me a... I think it's insight and command?
Sure. Can this count under my feat of diffuse the tension to encourage someone to take a non-violent approach? It is a talent, and it means I get to add an extra d20 to my dice pool.
That sounds perfect for that.
So insight and command.
I think it's
Numbers
insight
Monkey
command.
says yes.
Presence? Can I wrangle presence?
What is present? Oh, yeah, it would be presents.
Yeah, no, presents, actually. Yeah, no, you're right.
Good, because I'm just way better at that.
Do not listen to the Numbers Monkey. The Numbers Monkey is wrong.
What is it if it's a match? Does it have to be equal to or under, or just under?
I'm going to say yes for now because I'm not going to go and look it up.
Sure, it's well, that would be then 3 successes. So
Wow.
I have 17 on command and presence checks.
You now have a total of 2 momentum. You see her eyes wide. Show me Kearney. Where is he?
It's okay, Paula. Kearney.
Paula's that one over there, the one you shot.
Apologies. Kearney.
Yeah, he comes forward. Sarah, it's okay. It's okay. They're here to help. They really are. They're from another section of Starfleet. She kind of looks between you. The chief's not going to like this. Well, Kearney, where have you been all this time? You wouldn't want to know. I've been on the planet. Well, okay. Help me up, and we can talk, I guess.
Sure. Yeah. No. I'm also going to gesture Branson to the door.
Okay.
Just to check the guard.
The Branson heads over to the door. Hang on. Is Branson? Is he?
No, Branson's
Izzy is our
medical
person.
Okay.
Do you not remember? Do you want more
Well,
sound
wonderful
effects?
side effects.
Wait,
Well, we're sending in some non-sound effects to
Okay.
the door.
Commander?
I'm fine.
I'm making plans for how to save the damn ship.
Oh, do you have all the schematics there? Is that what's going on here?
I mean, I do have the schematics, but that's not what I'm using right now for plans. I have plans. It's all fine.
Who was the person you ordered to the door?
Security. Our security mode.
Okay.
I'm sending them to guard the door.
Yeah, they go over to the door and they lean down next to the stunned person and they just give you a nod as though it's okay. And Sarah is helped up. Where did you come from? We've been trapped here for 2 years. What's going on?
Our ship came into the system. We found your automated distress call, but before too long we got sucked into the wormhole.
Okay, well...
We're all stuck in the gravitational pull.
So you're stuck in here with us?
We are. We have some options, but we needed to establish contact.
Okay. Well, the chief is... The chief is definitely going to want to hear this.
The chief?
Darlene, the chief engineer.
What's happened to your captain?
The captain's no longer with us. Caitlin, the first officer, there was a fight shortly after we got here. Suarez was killed. Caitlin... We knew Caitlin wanted the position of command, and once everything hit off and everybody started getting paranoid about the creature, we knew it was only a matter of time.
One moment. Casey?
You'd ordered me to go and see to Anderson.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's not that huge, but yeah.
Yeah. So kind of looking up from where I've presumably been fussing over ants and come scurrying over.
Take a look at and isolate that, and I'm going to gesture to the weird, not quite cube thing.
Yes, Captain. Right away.
And also run scans on the ship in the area. But I'm worried about that.
Okay, give me a control science for scanning.
Sure.
Don't touch it, it's pure evil.
2 successes.
Okay. Do you? I'm assuming you don't lick it.
I don't know. That's not my MO, no.
Okay, this
That's not what they teach you at Starfleet Academy.
this ship appears to be made of the same material that you detected the larger ship made of outside. The inside of it, you're detecting a very different makeup of gases. At least you think they're gases inside. You're not sure. You probably wouldn't recommend opening it outside of some sort of containment field. But you can tell there is a hatch in the top of it, at the apex of this this weird cuboid-esque thing.
The inside of this ship is made of the same material as the ship that's in the center of the wormhole.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Captain,
Yes?
I'm detecting the same sort of material that seemed to be anomalous in the ship that was in the center of the wormhole. That's what the ship is made out of.
Understood, so it might be from there. Sarah, what's this creature? Have you been boarded?
So we detected that over there shortly after we were sucked into this wormhole. It came from the ship at the middle, and in the middle of the wormhole, and we brought it in here. We had an armed security detail.
Did you open it?
It was when we went near it, it opened, and something inside lunged out and hit one of the crewmen. The way the other one described it, it's like it absorbed him and then slowly turned into him. It happened. It happened so fast. The crewman couldn't give us a good explanation or describe what it looked like before it had pretty much turned into the other crewmen. They opened fire and the crewman fled.
Some sort of doppelganger effect.
Yes, that's when that news got out, everyone started getting restless and paranoid. We go around. Oh my God. We go around in twos because if we're ever on our own, and she turns around and looks at the other crew member.
It's alright, we've had some experience with that sort of security necessity in the past. Not this specific creature.
Where have you done that? What has your section of Starfleet been up to? Oh.
Finding strange things like you, it seems. Like you have been finding, yes.
So, I mean, we're guessing it's some kind of hostile invader of some kind trying to take advantage of the war. But we have to... We've been trying for the past 2 years to deal with this, and now you show up.
The long-term situation can wait, I think, until we've achieved some security on the ship. It has been my intention for us to try to evacuate the Atlantis. I believe it's going to take... Crap, Oz, what was our techno-babble for why we had to blow up a ship?
The torpedoes that were being fired at the ship were making hardly a dent. However, they were affecting the ship slightly. It would take the fusion reaction of a antimatter explosion, the likes of which can only be achieved by a warp core detonation. to destroy the ship?
We believe that to break out of the gravitational pull, to stop this situation, we need to destroy the ship at the heart of the wormhole. To do that is going to take, frankly, dropping a warp core on it.
Well, okay, so you can move your ship into position, and then if everybody comes aboard here...
Our ship is larger and is going to have far more capacity to be able to get out of this situation. Plus, also, we've not been stuck. Our ship hasn't been drained by the wormhole for 2 years. What
kind of ship is larger? And then you see a kind of... this whole place has been quite dark, and the emergency lighting has been on. And she puts her hand over her eyes to get a better look. And then kind of looks to your side, Ethan. And then she starts taking a step back. You're not human.
No,
what
I'm not.
Kind of.
I'm not.
What section of
human,
Starfleet
and...
are you from? You're not from Starfleet, and she.
Raising the face. I'm from Starfleet, but we're from the 24th century. You are in the 24th century.
No, that's not possible.
If you're a student of science and you're an explorer, then you have to understand the potential side effects of falling into a wormhole.
No, I'm not. I'm not like those on the faction on EDEC. I don't know any of this science stuff. I fix the engines.
Then you'll have to take it from someone who does know the science stuff. What you're hearing is the truth, and we're here to help.
Instant Samuel Casey, what I would like from you, with those sultry tones, is presence and command.
An 18 and a 1.
Woohoo! Yay!
Okay.
You've been stuck here for 2 years. No one's come looking for you. You're facing a completely unknown alien with a ship which is controlling, or at least creating, a wormhole. This is not the strangest thing you've seen.
Then what we should do is go and talk to the chief. They will... Wake up Paula, and I'll explain everything to her, and we will head to engineering.
I'm going to check up on my engineer first, but let me make one thing clear. I'm here for the whole Atlantis crew. This factionalization is unnecessary right now. I understand that you've been needing to do things to survive, but right now I'm bringing every single one of you to safety.
Well, all that are left anyway.
That'll do. And I'm going to go head back to the shuttle.
Okay. She heads back to where Paula is lying and your tactical officer is.
I'll move to help Paula recover, if that's acceptable to them.
Yeah, so could you give me a reason medicine?
Only one success.
You cradle Paula's head, and it's Sarah that's mostly speaking to her, and over the next 30 seconds, Paula blinks. Ow. It's okay. It's okay, Paula. These people are friends. They're here to help. They're here to help us. And Paula gets this look of just wide-eyed, what on earth is happening kind of thing.
I'll let your crewmate explain. And then the moment she's up and cognizant, I'll back off.
Okay. There is a conversation that happens in which Sarah explains that you're from Starfleet, you're here to help. that there are. She says a few lies to Paula. She says that there are non-human crew members, but they appear to be helping, and they suddenly don't appear to be the same kind of alien that has taken over the ship. There are humans among you.
Yes.
None of those things are lies. That's all
There's
entirely
a lie of
true.
omission there.
It's not a lie, it just feels kind of racist.
Yes. It's not lies, it's just racism.
Just be glad Talandra wasn't with you. She's much harder to explain than just, oh, she's got some dots, it's fine.
At least they know Vulcans.
Yes.
Yes, and they hate us.
Might be better by
For
2258.
stupid, illogical reasons.
Yeah, by that year, you're probably a lot better. Like,
Bit more chill.
yeah, we're approaching the start of the Federation as a thing, so it's not that bad.
Enterprise.
Enterprise.
So, what do people want to do?
I want to see if my engineer's head's fallen off.
It has.
Oh, shit! Yeah, Athan's going to head over to the inside of the shuttle.
Okay.
Commander, medic, sit rep.
I'm fine. Just get off.
Commander, will you please keep still?
Anderson,
Get off.
you will be
Fine.
fighting fit and much more use if you let the medic do her work.
I am fighting fit and fine.
I'll
You're
let them-
fighting. You're not strictly fine, Commander.
Just take a moment. You won't be of any use to us if you don't let her get her job done. And then you can do your job in that order.
Hi, Captain.
We're going to cut back to Talandra.
Status report.
The fires on decks 5 through 7 have been contained. However, the structural damage is quite significant, and some of the explosion, whatever it is, appears to have left some sort of isotropic signature on the hull that appears to be eating away slightly at it. We don't know what's going on. However, we're not 100% sure of what's going on right now. We're scanning it as we go. However, if it keeps going as it currently does, another deck will be breached in the next 30 minutes.
Weapons report.
Gwen,
Yes.
how would your alternate be doing right now? In fact, how does one repair things?
It very much depends on what you're trying to repair. In the case of the weapon system, what's probably happened, let's go into full technobabble mode here. What's probably happened is the shot has disabled the, let's go with power source to the weapons, so the energy weapons on board the Iskander are no longer capable of firing because they can't actually, charge. Something about the capacitors having been knocked loose in the process of taking the damage. Sorry, just pulling up technical specs for an Intrepid class.
Did you print those off?
Yes, of course I printed those off. I've taken highlighters to these.
God, I love you so much.
I'm scared of you.
I mean,
see my massive pile of notes that I've got
Commander.
next to me here.
sorry, just had a bit of a bad Vulcan moment there.
Like, you think printing that off scary? I have my university engineering notes here
That is quite scary.
as prep for technobabble.
I have about 400 tabs open at the moment.
This is my equivalent. But yes, so let's say the shot hit near the auxiliary deflector incision. So one of the phaser strips has been knocked out, and because that's messed up the circuit between all the phaser arrays, they're not quite functioning. So what's going to need to happen is some systems are going to need to be rerouted. That the shut-off phaser strip is going to need to be isolated away from the rest of the system so that the whole thing doesn't continue to short-circuit as it's currently doing.
How many phaser banks does the Intrepid class have?
It has one phaser array, but the phaser array is made up of 4 phaser strips, so you still got basically 3/4 of your phaser stuff.
Very well. Isolate the defective phaser strip. 3/4 is better than nothing. This is Talandra twice.
Go. So that's the I-Commander.
Strange. I want you to fit me out a probe with the capacity to emit tetrions.
I-Commander, what kind of class of probe are you looking for here? Because, of course, all of engineering now has Scottish accents.
Of course, apparently.
The
And your
entire
cousins.
engineering crew is Scots.
Just
I'm from
massive.
Dundee. I'm from Dundee.
Was there just massive nepotism in Gwen's family?
No. Why would that be the case?
Well, you're the only ones who
Everybody
can
from-
understand each other, so.
Everybody from the moon sounds like this, okay?
This is a moon accent.
Yes.
Lots
this
of
is a
moons
lunar
have a
accent,
Scotland.
damn it. It just happens to sound a lot like
I'm from the Scotland of Juno, I'll have you know. I'm from the Scotland of Triton.
Lots of planets have a Scotland.
Oh, because if you couldn't tell, I'm from Vulcan, Scotland. Oh, hi.
No, fuck off.
Ensign?
Are
I
you?
don't know who you're trying to talk to because there's no hints in here.
I thought you were Ensign Strange.
No, Lieutenant, this is my second in command.
I've promoted him. Lieutenant,
You've demoted him from Lieutenant to Ensign.
how dare you?
Don't demote my seconds!
Demote whoever I damn well please. I have the con.
He's not done anything wrong yet.
Detach the
We'll have
sword.
the court martial later.
Send him
When
up
you
to the
all
bridge and have him
die,
say that, why
then
don't
you
you?
can be demoted.
Okay, children.
Lieutenant,
Commander.
in answer to your question about half an hour ago, a probe to fire into the wormhole, Lieutenant.
Okay, let's make that a... Class 5. Medium range recon. But no, stellar encounter. Class 4.
Okay, so the probe, if it's scanning, then we're going to have the science section doing the scanning,
Mm-hmm.
which would be Samuel Casey's secondary character, who is called...
Dace.
Tito.
Tito?
No.
Oh.
That's a 10 and a 6.
Those are both successes. The
How
probe...
many successes did it need?
It needed 1, so you actually get...
Yeah.
You are now up to 3 momentum. The probe fires off and heads towards the wormhole. What is Talandra's intent?
Talandra's intent, based on her knowledge of Romulan vessels and things that worked during the Dominion War, included making an enormous Tetrion array out of ships, bouncing Tetrion beams at one another, which formed a sort of giant net, which was able to scoop up any cloaked Romulan ships. We don't have that ability since there is only one ship. So Talandra intends to put a Tetrion emitter onto the probe, fire it into the wormhole. The ensuing shockwave will fire Tetrions out into the area here, bouncing harmlessly off our ships, but decloaking any Romulan vessels nearby. Cloaked ships traditionally do not have as powerful shields as uncloaked ships. Therefore, having a 3/4 functional phaser array will allow us to fire on the decloaked Romulan ship, therefore disabling it.
So the probe launches forth And as
This will only be once the weapons are online, though. So
yeah. Oh, okay. So you haven't actually fired it yet.
yeah, it's going to. I want the probe
is
set
ready.
up,
Okay.
and then once the weapons are,
Okay.
Once the 3 phaser arrays are operational,
Yeah.
because we'll only have a very short window to do it in.
Okay. So,
Theoretically speaking,
mechanically speaking, what would an engineering team require to do to fix the weapons if they're offline?
So yeah, going back to the technobabble earlier, we'll need to isolate the circuit that the defunct phaser strip is on. We will need to reroute some of the power that was going through that defunct phaser array, so it is still powering the remaining 3 that are still functional. That should just about do it for one breach. If things get any worse, then we'll need to take slightly more drastic action, but for now, that should be enough to get everything back in working order and not short-circuiting itself.
What I'm asking is, do you roll some dice? Like I
Oh. You didn't say you wanted dice. You
were just
said,
asking
what
us for our
engineering
thoughts.
do?
look, Emily and I are being very smart, and we want recognition for that.
That is actually really cool, and I really, really love that. And every time you fix something, I do want an explanation like that. But there has to be a method by which we determine whether or
Yes,
not
in terms
it
of
succeeds.
ruling, it is a damage control rule.
Okay.
In this case, it does not remove the breach. It will remove the effect of it, though, so the weapons will still be fireable.
Okay.
Because removing the breach is slightly more detailed repairs. So it is a presence engineering task with a difficulty determined by the system chosen. That's not a helpful thing.
I'm going to say it's difficulty 1, just so that we have...
That'll do. Strange is still in main engineering, isn't he?
Yes, so you can indeed have the ship help you if you would like.
Oh, but also, tasks operated in main engineering reduce the difficulty by 1, so it is a difficulty 0 task.
Do you want to see if you can get some momentum out of that?
Of course.
Okay.
Momentum is big and clever. That's a 20. There is a 3 in this, though.
So 1 success and 1...
Complication.
Um...
Do you want some suggestions for complications?
Oh yeah, go on. Give me something interesting.
Let's have a look.
Casey, your little face.
I forgot people could see me.
What's going on?
Science. This is why I'm a politician.
Actually, I think you'll find this is engineering, not science.
I think you'll find that the theory behind it is science.
No, I know. I'm being a twonk.
Science Vulcan!
So actually, just tell me what you break.
I have broken nothing, nor has Strange. It's not a very stable and long-term solution, because with the way it's having to be rerouted, it's a much longer route for the circuit, so there's much more loss in the power generation, there's much more noise in the signal, so everything's going to be fluctuating a bit. So sometimes it all works just absolutely perfectly, sometimes it might take a while to warm up before you can actually use it. Okay.
So do you report this back to the captain?
Yep. Captain, that should be the phaser banks up and running again. However, you might find that it takes a bit of a while for it to warm up. We've had to reroute power by quite a lengthy route, so things are getting a bit lossy in the lines.
How long will it take to fire up, Lieutenant?
Couldn't say really. It's going to be a bit variable. It's fluctuating about a bit, so sometimes it'll work just fine, sometimes it might take a few extra seconds before you can actually fire it.
Lieutenant, if I understand my theory to be correct, then once we have fired that probe into the wormhole, the Tetryon field will be unstable and incredibly brief. If the weapons array is not online in time for us to fire at the Romulan ships, then there will be no second window.
If you have everything prepared and ready to go just in case you need to use it, then it should be okay. It shouldn't.
Lieutenant, I have no intention of charging weapons until absolutely necessary. If the Romulans catch even the slightest intention of what we're doing, then this plan may not work.
As I say, Commander, a few seconds is the difference that it might make. As things stand right now, I can't give you anything better than that, so I'm afraid. I'll see what I can do to find a different route for the power, see if I can reduce the fluctuations in the circuitry. But for now, I'm afraid that's the best I can do if you're going to need to fire the weapons in the next 15 minutes.
Reroute power from the photon torpedoes if necessary.
Aye, Commander.
Okay. Going back to the Atlantis, what is everybody doing currently?
Assuming people are a bit more fighting fit and ready to go. However, Athan is going to look to Sarah and Paula.
Mm-hmm.
This creature, you say it.
Yes.
You opened up the vessel and it mimicked one of you, and then it fled.
It absorbed the crew member.
Absorbed the crew member completely. Do you have any reason to think it's attacked since?
Well, it's certainly not the same crew member. It has absorbed a few of us.
Very well. Trying to ascertain.
We don't know who it is currently.
Of course.
We haven't been able to figure out how to detect that.
And those who are absorbed, they're gone, no remains.
No.
No.
Very well. Ensign Casey, I'm going to ask you to, considering our potentially more powerful tricorders, just run some, whenever you get the opportunity, run some quick scans of the area of individuals. Let's not make anyone nervous or tetchy, but...
Certainly. Would you two mind, as people who have been in this area, just as a base for future scans, if I can scan you?
Okay.
Thank you.
Sure. You scan the kind of the area around you on the ship, as well as these two people. Something you notice is that, just as they said, you can tell that there are quite a number of humans around you in various locations. The gravitic distortions of the wormhole are interfering somewhat, so while you can get general areas, you can't exactly pinpoint people. But everybody seems to be going around at least in pairs. You can see a few, you're guessing maybe patrols, or just people going from place to place. And there are three main kind of groups of people. There is a group on the upper decks, a group on the middle decks near engineering, and a group near the bottom of the ship.
Captain, whilst I'm going to be able to continue these experiments, the ambient energies from the wormhole are going to make it very difficult to rely on the tricorders alone. If we're going to have any hope at isolating this creature, whatever it may be, we may need to be up close.
No, I understand. But anything that we can do to start to narrow it down. I don't assume that you've got any chance of getting any samples or anything from the interior of that shuttle.
I can
Assuming
try.
it is a shuttle. Have a quick look. We may need to isolate wherever this person is. This being is.
I shall do that. Try and accrue some samples.
Like, do you actually open the thing?
Oh, wait, the door is still sealed, is it? To the
door is currently still sealed.
Okay. Let's not open that.
No, if we are to open that, I would recommend it in isolation. I don't think we have the...
Let's not handle that. Let's not add addition.
We could rig something up, but we have more important things.
That's a problem for later. If it's unsealed, if it's sealed, let's not unseal
let's leave it
again.
Sealed. I'm very much in favour of leaving it sealed, Captain.
We should consider that this may be some kind of habitat for the creature. It might be necessary in terms of its entrapment, so we should maybe bring it with us.
Well, we need to find it one way or another.
Scanning the pod, what you can detect is that the space-time within the ship itself appears slightly warped in some way. Everything you're scanning on the inside of the ship doesn't look like enough to fill the ship. It's very strange.
There's such a lack of consistency, even from a physical level. In many ways, it's frustrating and fascinating, but...
Skip to the end, Ensign.
It's going to be very, very difficult to even begin to ascertain what this is, even its mass at this stage.
Well, that might in some ways make it easier to detect, but we'll see. Anyway, let's start off with engineering, or at least assuming the chief is there.
That's always a good plan.
And we'll start with them, but I do intend to try to bring these factions together and address the whole crew. Or at least get the whole crew getting together to get off the ship and find this creature.
Yeah, let's not have people fighting when they get back onto the Iskander.
No.
We've transported everybody on board.
And let's try to not bring some person-absorbing doppelganger with us.
I'm very much in favour of person-absorbing doppelgangers not being on the Iskander.
Okay, and with the knowledge that Lieutenant Commander Gwen Anderson is perfectly happy right now, not knowing that there's a giant hole in the side of the ship, we are gonna head to a short break. So we will be right back and see you lots soon.
I'm so happy.
Hello again, and welcome to Rollout. We are in the middle of drama and tension as the ship, the Iskander, has a large hole in the side, and Lieutenant Commander Talandra is commanding the ship as it tries to resolve this. Lieutenant Commander Gwen Anderson, Ensign Samuel Casey, and Captain Nadari Athan are aboard the Athan. Athan are aboard the Starship Atlantis, an NX-class pre-Federation ship, as they attempt to resolve a tense situation. Whose scene are we going to? Let's go back to the Atlantis.
To engineering.
Yes, Paula and Sarah guide you through the ship. The whole place is dark. There's mostly emergency lighting on, and every now and again you can see a phaser blast has scorched a wall. Phase pistol blast, sorry, scorched a wall. Or a crate has been upturned and its contents spilled on the ground of uniform or various rations, or however they've all been opened and their contents obviously eaten. And you enter you get to one of the entrances to the engineering section, and the Paula enters the door and shouts, "Darlene!" And you hear a response of, "Darlene's gone. They've taken her." "What do you mean she's gone?" "Command have her. There was just a firefight in the shuttle bay. They took her." You see a human who is standing by the what, Gwen, you recognise to be the warp core. It's a large horizontal tube that fills most of this room with pipes going from various places to each other, to various parts of the ship. Is giving off quite a mighty hum. And there's a man standing on a gantry nearby who shouts down to Paula, "Who are these people?" They're Starfleet. They came on a ship. They're mostly human.
That's gonna really help. I'm gonna step out, sort of hands open, and look ready to duck and cover.
The ensign doesn't. You can see the person who's standing next to the warp core is an ensign from the insignias on their wrists, and I mean, Nadari, you're quite aware of old uniforms, part of the things you love about old Earth history, or old Federation history, and But you see a few of the others around the gangplanks draw a weapon carefully. But the ensign says, no. If it was the alien, there would only be one of them. Let's hear them out.
The one who's been taken, you're referring to the chief engineer?
Yes, the chief engineer has been taken by the command faction.
Just want to make sure I'm talking to whoever's in charge down here, or as many as you as possible.
My name is Lou Mendola. Yeah. Caitlin took the chief. I don't know what's happening now.
I'm Captain Athan of the USS Iskander. My ship is also caught in the gravitational pull of the wormhole. This wormhole, and this is going to be hard to believe, has sucked your ship, and possibly the Romulan ship, into the 24th century.
What Romulan ship?
One you were fighting.
For reference, we did find some wreckage of a Romulan ship on the planet.
Yeah, there were
but it was
two.
very much wreckage.
There were two ships 2 years ago. One of them we drove into the asteroid field and destroyed. The other one we knocked out of orbit.
Hang on, sorry, is it my OC brain? Talandra did tell me there was a ship, or this
Yes,
is the thing stuff
she
is
did.
blowing up. Okay, cool. That is fine. I just wanted to make sure I got that information. It's possible it's still out there, but my ship is dealing with it as we speak. Whether there is another one out there. Regardless, you are trapped 200 years in your future. Your distress signal was picked up by my ship. The USS Iskander is a ship of Starfleet of the United Federation of Planets. Now, this is a lot to take in, but this is going to be easiest if I'm not having to couch my words.
You can see a few of the people on the gangway around the top, and a pair of people at the back beside the warp core kind of whispering something to each other.
My intention is for us to get every single crew member of the Atlantis out of this wormhole.
Okay.
I'm aware you've been boarded. I'm aware that there's a creature which is killing people and duplicating, looking like them.
Yes, there has been a creature that's been duplicating our crew. You can forgive us for thinking that
I understand.
there's something going on here with you all.
Your crew have had eyes on us since we've arrived.
And as you pointed out yourself, there's more than one of us. But the most important thing is that, frankly, your crew needs to start working together. Why have you started fighting?
Well,
Good question.
I wasn't at the fight when we knew what was going on here. When we started to become trapped, there was a creature that was brought aboard. It docked with us and came on here. When it came out of its life pod, it attacked one of our crew and turned into them.
Yes, and then
we've
it
heard
fled.
about it, and then it's
But then,
foiled.
how does that turn into engineering fighting command? I understand that there's paranoia and doubt, but
Because
Why the
factionalization.
factions?
Caitlin believed that the captain was taken over by this creature, as the captain she didn't understand or believe in the things that the captain was saying. She got into a fist fight on the bridge. Words were said, and a phaser was shot. The captain was killed. A phase pistol was shot. The captain was killed, and after that, things just got worse and worse. Rumours spread of Caitlin, First Officer Mallory herself being the creature, and well, the chief, Officer Phillips. People said the same about her, just because they were two people who were in charge. Each one suggesting to the other that things were happening. The first officer threw a couple of people that she said were the alien out of the airlock.
I understand. I have one simple question for you. Has someone disappeared while Mallory and Phillips have still been running around? Have they still been, since you've had eyes on them?
Well, I don't know anything about Mallory, but we send everybody out in twos now.
So you're confident that Chief Phillips is Chief Phillips? Or at least was last time you saw them?
Chief Phillips has not been acting against the ship.
But has
That's
someone
not
had
the question
eyes on
we
him?
asked.
Since this all started, Chief Phillips has always had someone with her.
Okay, that answers the question we asked. Thank you very much.
Right. I understand that there have been some difficult choices and possibly some terrible choices going on here, and those can be dealt with, but that's the long term. The short term is saving people's lives. Yes. I think that my intention, is to... You're assuming that... Where does Commander hole up? The bridge?
Give me a second. On B-Dex, the bridge has microfractures throughout it. So the astronomical lab, the computer core...
If they've taken Phillips anywhere, it will be there, very likely.
But good luck getting in. I mean, the first officer, they are... Anybody known to spend any amount of time by themselves, and Mallory airlocks them. How do you think she's going to act towards you?
I understand. Transporter control, do you have access to it?
Transporter has been offline since this whole deal started. I don't know.
That's fine. Do
you have access
to them? That's all we need to start off with.
Give me a second. I'm going to look at some schematics that I might have.
Whilst I desperately want to have a screening process for this creature before we start transporting people, at the same time...
I don't think that's something we're going to be able to rig up from this end, Captain.
No, it's not. At the very least, we can potentially see about quarantining them all in a cargo bay. 33 people, we can stick in one cargo bay and worry about the rest later. And rather than dealing with a pitch fight between two factions, if we get the chance to remove one friendly faction to safety and then deal with Mallory.
That's a possibility. And certainly while I've got their engineering lot here,
the other thing to
might as well make a start.
Yes.
If we remove an entire faction, as trivial a divide as it is to the Iskandar, there's nothing to say the creature won't then be on our ship.
That's why we will be keeping them isolated within a cargo bay. The problem is we have no idea what this creature is, and whilst we have some time until... I'm going to have to work right now under the assumption that it is going to take us a while to figure out how to identify this creature. So for the moment, quarantining them in a confined space, they aren't going to be any less safe stuck in a cargo bay together on the Iskander. It won't be pleasant, but it'll be better than being here.
Yes, we have the cargo... the transporter's next to the cargo bay. It's... It's through that door over there.
Magic.
All right, then. Let's start with that.
What are you planning to do? I'm sorry, this is my ship. Well, this is my engineering bay right now when the chief's not here, so...
Alright. The full extent...
well, I would be talking one chief engineer to another here, but we'll make it as good as we can do. Who's second in command here?
I'm second.
Good. Just to make sure that I'm talking to whoever is currently
I think
in
he possibly needs to know the actual plan rather than the specifics.
I can give him just a brief overview.
The overall intention is that to get out of this wormhole, it's going to take blowing up a warp core. That's what it's going to take to destroy the ship at the centre of the warp core.
So we're going to need to get everybody who's currently on the Atlantis transported off to our ship.
Okay.
First, I want to know what's possible.
The transporter is currently offline.
Mm-hmm.
If you understand and believe what I have to say, then believe that we have technical knowledge which may surpass your own.
I'm currently under orders from the chief to get this working. He glances around, and especially you, Gwen, you notice around the warp core and dangling from various computer consoles is like a patchwork of power cables that are coming from like open panels in the walls. You can see like exposed power couplings that that are on several computer terminals around.
Trying to get your warp core back up and running.
No, this
No?
this is this is to take over the ship.
Oh.
We were
So you
transferring
would-
everything here.
So you're trying to transfer it? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that explains why you've got all the power systems. And you're trying to get them all. Yeah.
I'm not a monster. The life support system still goes to all of the.
That's fine.
No, I would be very surprised if you were the kind of people that would do that. And I'm a lot less likely to help you out as well. Well,
I think at this stage you need to consider this factionalization of the ship a moot point. We're trying to deal with saving lives.
Do you want to tell them that?
The first point is, however, do you believe me and are you willing to cooperate with me?
If you get everybody else to cooperate, I'll help you put this back together. So, especially if you get the chief back, then I will happily transport everyone over there. I'm not comfortable with it. I prefer to use a shuttle, but we don't have one right now.
I'm not sure that we have the time for that either, to do that one at a time. But
we will
however, I need
work.
but yes, in an ideal situation, I would be walking up to both Mallory and Phillips and getting both of them to stand down and to cooperate. I would like a chance to do that without just getting our heads blown off. Any assistance in that part would be good.
They won't
because
trust me. Do you think me walking over there
No,
after
I don't
they have
think it will
taken
help. However, my concern otherwise is if I try to enter into negotiations with Mallory and it ends poorly, then you are just in this bad situation. If me and my people can get the transporters working, then we can get you and your engineering crew to safety,
Okay.
and then we will move on Mallory and we will get Phillips out of there. You have my word.
Okay, well, if you want to do that, the science division have been working with them. There's been some exchange of food stuff and from the hydroponics bay.
Mm-hmm.
We've been eating rations for forever, but they have a deal right now. Maybe they should be the ones you're speaking to. They might be able to
Possibly.
get you in.
Possibly,
And-
yes.
They're far more likely to believe this whole mess about time.
I understand that. However, I am loath to leave you here. If you can cooperate and if you can allow Commander Anderson access to your systems, we can get you to safety and then we can get everyone else to safety. Else, I'm walking away, I'm leaving you here, and if we all die or some of us die, then you're stuck here too. I want to get your people out of here, all of them. But there's no reason I need to wait. There's no reason why you need to leave together.
He looks at the wiring and the cabling. If this is going to help Phillips, the chief, what do you need? He says, looking at Anderson.
Right, well, first I'll need to see exactly what aspects of your transporter are offline, and then once we've got it in working order, then we can work on upgrading it. Let's see.
I removed most of the control boards to create a makeshift circuitry with through which I could fake an input from the command center on the bridge. This like he kind of points to a mishmash of various computer parts put into a frame, like a computer frame. This is a basic AI that is designed to mimic inputs from the bridge that will hopefully override the computer's own security measures. Most of this is parts from the transporter.
Right. So either we're going to need to get similar parts from elsewhere, or we're going to need to dismantle your little project and put it all back in the transporter.
There are no other parts. Let's dismantle
Right, we're taking this apart.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ensign. We'll get your people out of here.
What I might suggest, Captain, is that you
Go on to science while you get to work
go
here.
on to science while we get started on this.
I understand. I'm going to look at Kearney. Does he have any...
Obvious preference as to where he goes.
Yeah, or like a helpful input from someone who's not been trapped on like Lord of the Flies Atlantis?
I might be able to talk to the crew on the command crew, but you've seen how they've treated me so far.
All right, Cat.
Caitlin, First Officer Mallory, I've never really gotten on with. However, Lieutenant Parrish might be... If Lieutenant Parrish is still alive, he's a friend of mine. We can maybe... There might
How
be
are you
something
with
we can do.
science?
No, I can strip and put together a phase
I mean, with the
pistol
science
Not your
department.
abilities.
Oh,
The science department.
How you get on with them.
okay. Like, we're all on the same crew, and the crew's small enough that, I saw them in the mess hall now and then. We spoke.
Did you want to punch him every time you saw him in the mess hall, or were you
I'm trying to
best
get some
poker
grasp
buddies?
of standard operating procedure on this crew.
We're professional enough.
Well, either way, Kearney, then if you stick with us, it'll be appreciated, and we'll leave Sarah and Paula to help out here. I think that'll be more useful. But we're going to get a lot more leeway with an Atlantis crew member with us.
Okay, well...
And you could show us around the ship as well, because
I don't...
my recollection is going to be hazy.
Yes, okay, let's go down to... Where did they say? Hydroponics? Good place as any. Tilandra.
Let's split the party more!
You're muting.
Shut up. Yeah.
No, the other thing.
Shut up!
Shut up. How dare you tell me what I am?
So, after a short period, you get a message from engineering regarding the probes. Engineering.
What do you mean a message regarding the probes?
As in, they're done.
Right, okay.
You've prepared
Don't-
them.
Don't say they're done. We've prepared them. Don't let that be your message. I will hate you forever.
Why did you say don't do the thing? Now I have to do the thing.
I
See?
understand.
Thank you for understanding.
Engineering
to
report.
XO.
Report.
Yep, the probes are done, they're prepared, they're ready to go.
Understood. Iskander to Captain Athan.
Athan here, go ahead, Exo.
Captain, we have a system in place whereby we believe we can decloak and potentially engage the Romulan vessel or vessels.
Good to know. The situation here is bizarre. It appears that the Atlantis has taken on board a shuttle which contained from the main unknown ship. Entity on board has disembarked and it apparently has the capacity to engulf individuals, absorb them, and then take their appearances. It has since fled. This, along with the stress of being stuck here for 2 years, appears to have led the crew to split into factions of 3, their own departments, and somewhat fight amongst one another. We are trying to reconcile the factions and then get people back to you, but we're working on the transporters right now.
Captain, does this alien presence bear any relationship to the descriptions we have of the founders?
It didn't. I'm not sure anyone explicitly described goo, and the absorption of someone didn't sound enormously like the founders, although their full combat capabilities were still not entirely assessed. I will gather more information on that front, but initially it didn't, and this technology hasn't matched anything Dominion that I've recognized.
Understood. Captain, regarding the Romulan vessel, what are your standing orders?
If you can make sure that it's not going to be a threat for us, then absolutely go ahead. Also, bear in mind, these may well be Romulans from the 24th century. Protect the ship, but it may be possible to communicate with them. They may also be lost and confused. I hate to make them sound like a baby bird, but you understand my meaning, Exo.
Quite.
Make sure they're not a threat to the mission and a threat to the ship. But I'd rather this doesn't end with us having to blow up another ship.
Understood.
Is that all, Exo?
For now, Captain.
Then good hunting. Tharn out.
As you say. Communications. Is it possible to hail the Romulan ship?
So long as no... It may be very slightly distorted, but anybody within the wormhole should be able to hear us pretty much just fine.
Then broadcast this on all wideband frequencies. This is Lieutenant Commander Talandra of the USS Iskander, hailing all vessels cloaked or uncloaked in the nearby vicinity. You are encouraged to respond to this hail. We wish to engage peacefully.
No responses, Commander.
Engineering?
Stringent, go ahead.
Prime the weapons. Prepare to engage.
Aye, Captain.
Fire the probe.
And the you see on the view screen the probe shoot forward, and it goes straight for the center of this wormhole where you see these sort of waves of energy moving in towards it. The probe shoots towards it, and then at the last second, you see a flash of energy. The energy waves that were moving in, for a second, move outwards, and you see this sort of yellowish cloud emanate in every direction. And most of it leaves behind almost like stars, little twinkles as it goes. Scanning now, Captain. Captain, I'm not detecting any vessels. However, the sensor echoes that we were detecting, they're forming a shape. Captain, there are three shapes out there, aside from the Atlantis. They appear to be old-style Romulan mines, one of which is on a collision course right now, Commander.
Evasive maneuvers.
Can I have from someone a...
If it's Helm, I can do it.
Yeah, let's do Helm.
Forgot about the freaking mines.
How does this work?
So evasive action is just a task that you can do. It is a daring and con task with difficulty 1, assisted by the ship's structure and con.
Well, we're doing okay on that, aren't we? So it's just roll 2.
Yeah, roll 3 because you've got the ship helping you as well. But the ship is based off of a different... what's it? Set of numbers. It's me numbers. I don't make those. I need ship numbers. Ship needs to roll less than an 11.
Oh,
So
in which
actually
case?
assist on this.
Oh, the ship has to roll less than 11.
Yes. Or 11 or less. Oh, this has a power requirement of 1. Now that I've actually got to the end of the relevant thing.
So you would have to use some power to do that.
That's fine. There's still 3 power.
So am I rolling for the ship, or are you rolling for the ship?
I'll roll.
Okay, cool.
What am I? Is it just roll 1d20? How am I doing this?
You're, basically the ship
2d20
assists you
for
with
you,
another...
one for the ship.
Yeah.
I have to roll less than 11.
For the ship roll.
10.
And then... Yes!
And then for yourself, the 2d20 rolls?
3d20 because the ship's helping.
Oh, no.
So that 1d20 from the ship is it helping.
Oh, right.
So that's one success, and then you...
I could have just rolled them all together.
You have a different stat that you're rolling to.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. Yeah, but I could
You're
have known
rolling
which... I could have known which dice had
This
to be
is
under the
true.
left.
Yeah. But I don't know what your numbers are for security. Daring and con.
Are we using my numbers or other numbers?
Your numbers.
These are your numbers if you're the one doing the flying.
Well, I'm not really, but... I'm in the chair. You can do nothing in the chair. However... yes, both are beneath my... Both are
3
beneath.
successes.
So what
on
does
a
that get you?
difficulty 1 task.
Okay.
Let me just see if you... Hang on. There's things you can do with momentum that are related to power, but I think you need a talent for that.
You have 4 power. 4 momentum.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't have the bloody rulebook up. Bloody idiot.
Where's ship momentum uses? Feel free to carry on while I look things up. I can tell you what
It's
the
fine.
momentum is like in a sec.
The ship lurches to the side as the inertial dampeners strain to compensate while the ship goes into a barrel roll, and the Captain, this mine is going to keep trying to fly towards us if we don't do something.
Is it just the one mine? Did you say?
There are 3 mines. Two of them are still quite far off and don't appear to be approaching currently. We must have drifted into this one's vicinity.
But the weapons were online, if I remember.
The weapons are now online.
Talandra will... pausing to process Vulcan brain power. Talandra to engineering.
Strange, go ahead.
Infuse the navigational deflector away with a polarized tachyon field. Throw it behind us.
On it, Captain. Commander.
You say Captain, she has the com. That's how that works.
I'm sure Ethan would agree with that.
So
That's how that works. She's literally in charge of the ship at the moment, therefore she's captain. The cat could be called captain if it was in charge of the ship.
I would like Anderson, or the Anderson equivalent, to roll me reason and engineering.
Where is the cat?
Don't summon it. It'll stop meowing.
I don't know, and I'm not going to look for him.
Remind me what the role was?
This was reason and engineering.
Reason engineering. What do I want strangest numbers to be? -1 on each. That seems reasonable. What's a reasonable thing to do with? Because I've got what my numbers are.
Just use yours. He's your second in command.
Fair point. That is a 19, so that does nothing.
You also the ship is helping.
Yes. What's the ship helping me on?
What makes
Oh,
sense?
I rolled a 19 anyway. It's not going to work.
Okay.
Whatever it is, the ship is no help. However, I got an 8.
So 1 success.
I have 1 success.
Okay. You managed to reroute power to create an inverse tachyon field, was it?
I think I just said tachyon field.
Tachyon-
Inverse is better because it's inverse.
Inverse, there's more tech involved.
Needs more tachyons.
Okay.
But backwards!
What is the intent for this inverse tachyon field? What do you believe it will do?
I believe that it will short circuit the mine's tracking capabilities, and in doing so will force it to target itself, and therefore it will self-destruct.
You cause...
Because why the fuck not? That's why.
You emanate the...
EMP, the son of a bitch.
Yeah, you emanate the...
But in space!
Inverse tachyon field from the back of your ship using the warp nacelles to obviously focus it. And the mine follows you for a few seconds, then veers off and starts doing a loop, after which point it just explodes in the air.
Report status of Romulan vessels.
None detected, Captain. It's looking like the mines were everything that was out there.
Continue on this course. Target mines when at beta range.
The person at Astrometric says, looking at these readings, it looks like the first thing that hit us was obviously a mine. Knowing this, we may be able to determine what's going on with the what did I say it was?
Isotrope?
Yeah, the isotropic substance that's moving through the ship. We should be able to counteract its effects. Unless you want to do anything else, we're going to move back to...
I mean, I had a thought about the isotrope, but if you say it's going to be if it's going to be just counteracted anyway, then I don't need to.
No, I feel bad.
Technobabble, is it?
Yeah, but if it's not going to be plot important, then it's just been waved away, so it's fine.
I'm sorry.
It's like the clones in the Clone Wars. Once one mine dies, all the isotopes go, oh.
And we fall over. Sad.
Sad.
Sad isotopes.
Oh.
Okay. We then jump back to the ship. Where were you going? Were you going for...
I'm taking everyone but Anderson to hydroponics.
Okay.
It's time to, yet again, blow their minds. I need to start handing out pamphlets. So you're in the 24th century.
Hi, we're from the 24th century.
Oh, not today, thanks. We've got some.
I'm trying to give it up.
No.
Too much time travel.
So you head down and Kearney was leading you, right?
Yeah.
He on the way he kind of nervously jokes, well, so I suppose this makes me what, 300?
No.
You're 220 years into the future,
200.
so less.
247.
You're looking good for your age.
Do you think that I can get like one massive cake for that?
Maybe once you hit 250.
As you start walking past the...
It's okay, Casey.
That could be cake later, Casey.
How it works, but okay.
As you start walking past various sections in the on E deck, you go past the galley. There doesn't. You see kind of a couple of people in there, and they turn to you, and you see that they almost go for their phase pistols, but Kearney puts up his hands and says, "It's okay. It's engineering. It's just us, and there's a lot of us here. You're currently kind of in shadow and emergency lighting. It's quite hard to see.
Yeah, we'll tag back and let Kearney deal with...
Have you seen Takahashi anywhere? And you hear a shout out. He's in engineer. He's in the medbay. And Kearney nods. Okay. Well, I guess Takahashi is in charge of science currently.
I gathered.
Sorry, what did you say? Okay, never mind. Kearney continues down the corridor, turns into a junction, and then a set of double doors open, in which there is quite obviously the sick bay of this vessel. There's a number of shelves and various medical equipment spread throughout this room on various places. There are monitors on most of the walls, as well as 2 beds opposite you. However, the most notable thing is in the middle of the room, there are 2 men standing over a third. The third appears to be lying on on a bed that has been laid flat, and they are cutting into his chest. The person whose chest they're cutting into appears to not be moving, and you can see at first glance their eyes are open.
Is this looking like an autopsy?
This is like
is this looking like
situation.
science, not crazy?
This is looking like science, not crazy.
Just checking. Okay.
I mean, that doesn't mean it's not crazy.
Yeah, but like
could be both.
Okay, if you just cut into the third vertebrae, yes.
Excuse me.
Who are you?
As you can see, I've arrived with Lieutenant Kearney.
My name is Kearney. What the hell are you?
My name is Captain Athan of the USS Iskander. We've rescued Lieutenant Kearney, and we are coming to rescue the crew of the Atlantis.
Okay.
We're aware you've been boarded by an unknown alien life.
Yes, that's what we're trying to determine. If we can discover who it is here. If it is, we're trying to discover. We're trying to see if we can discover how to detect it. We think it's very. The first officer has put us in charge of trying to detect which one of us it is.
Good. So you're checking bodies that it's killed, or just bodies in general?
Yes. We think that using tissue samples from various people throughout the crew who unfortunately perished, we think that we can...
I'm sorry, are you quite alright?
New people make me nervous in my sickbay.
I understand and I apologise. We are here to help. It's my hope that my crew can help your crew both get back together.
Okay.
Your work is exceptionally important and I don't want to interrupt it any more than I have to. Indeed, I'd rather see it helped. But it is imperative that I can talk to Commander Mallory.
Well, good luck. He's not known for... And she is not known for her kindness right now.
I understand that, which is why I'm hoping to come through people who she knows she can rely on.
Makes some sense. Okay. Well...
Look, have you made any headway on... Sorry, I'll let you.
Who are you again?
Captain Athan of the USS Iskander.
There's some rush you've got there.
I'm not human.
You're telling me. Martinez, what do you... the shorter man there who was also standing over the body. I've never seen anything. What are you?
My species is the Trill. Okay, we are going to do this the long way. This ship has been transported.
He gets out a medical scanner.
This ship has been transported to the 24th century courtesy of the anomalous effects of the wormhole. Yes, you will be detecting 2 life forms.
Well, as the little scanner reaches your belly, he's like actually takes a step back.
There's nothing harmful. This is a symbiotic relationship between 2 life forms. And I would very happily love to enlighten you, but this is unfortunately not the priority.
You're saying you're not like the
entity?
The creature that the rest of the crew seem convinced is here.
On the contrary, what has happened between myself and Athan is a joining of 2 species voluntarily. The symbiont is an incredibly long-lived entity. You pass it between humanoid hosts. The hosts share in experiences and personality. We are not subsumed. We become greater than the sum of our parts.
The scans suggest that their nervous system is intertwined. Okay, well, if that's the case, why are you on a Starfleet vessel? I'm assuming from the USS.
Yes, because in the 24th century, Earth has become the capital, the center of the United Federation of Planets. As the result of your Earth-Romulan war, the unity of the multiple local species has resulted in a grand alliance.
He turns to Takahashi and goes, well, I guess your Terra Prime didn't do very well then, did they? Kind of punches him on the arm. Well, I'm not even convinced there is one of these creatures aboard. I think most of the rest of the crew is just undergoing some sort of wormhole sickness, or this might be some sort of Romulan weapon that causes everybody to go crazy. I can't.
With my knowledge of the time, this is unlikely to be a Romulan weapon. The ship, the shuttle, the ship in the center of the wormhole, they defy our records of known vessels, known civilizations.
Okay, well, you want to get on to speaking with the commander then?
Ideally, I want to bring the factions together to work together on this. And I know things will go an awful lot easier if you can make sure that you can narrow down how to find the creature. So, is there anything I or Ensign Casey, my science officer, can do to help?
No, You're from the future. What kind of scanning equipment do you have?
It's vastly superior to yours.
He looks like
insulted. I think insulted might be the best.
His mouth drops for a second as if to say something to be insulted, but then he just goes, That makes sense. Yes.
And through this, we'll be able to, if you have any theories that you're still working on, we'll be able to more quickly and more efficiently work through them. I'm interested in the idea that you think that it's some sort of shared hallucination, when there is a physical construct of some kind in the cargo bay.
Well, yes, the only crewmen crew people to have seen this creature could have undergone some sort of shared hallucination when the ship was opened. There could be some sort of gas or something like that. Alternatively, opening the ship could have caused, I don't know, some high-frequency electromagnetic waves, that heightened paranoia, maybe violent tendencies. I mean, you've seen what's been happening on the ship.
I have. Though it does lead me to another question that I must ask. You do not believe in the creature, and from everything that we've been told about how the creature operates, it subsumes people and leaves no evidence. How did this individual die?
Unfortunately, this was nothing to do with any creature. Ensign Green here took his own life. And he kind of turns around and motions to the wrists of Ensign Green, and you can see cuts. His quarters have a note in them. He took his own life.
I see.
There have been no other confirmed sightings of this creature?
Since it was said to have abducted the first member of the crew, that same crew member has not been seen since. So we know it has taken at least one other. If it is, in fact, that, and the crew member didn't simply jump out of an airlock.
It's possible, but this is starting to lead to a very complex shared hallucination. You understand that not only is it a shared hallucination in which multiple crew members saw this being subsume and become someone else.
It was only
that
the first
same
crew
person
member.
was then compelled to kill themselves in a way which would leave absolutely no evidence. That's an exceptionally complex shared hallucination.
Yes, well, if this is indeed some sort of trickery by the Romulans or someone else, then, I mean, for all I know, if it is the creature, it could be a Romulan. That could be what Romulans do.
Do you know which crew members witnessed this?
There were 3 of the security personnel who are now among the command crew.
Very well. We may have some questions for them eventually. We have encountered species capable of shape-shifting, but this doesn't quite match. Casey, do you think there's anything you can do to assist?
I think there's plenty I could do to assist.
Specifically here.
Yes. If you can tell me exactly what you're looking for within the autopsy, I can...
Before you get into it, because this is still very important, is it possible that... Do you think First Officer Mallory would consent to coming down here for a conversation?
No, she's far too paranoid for that. She only trusts her own.
Do you think
After
it's
everything
possible,
that's happened.
do you think it's possible that you can get me an audience, even over comms, with her?
The fact of the matter is the situation outside of your ship is growing dire. Not that this situation isn't, but...
Time is limited.
I think that we might be able to get you some sort of audience. We trade in our... We trade in the vegetables that we grow in the hydroponics facility, and we talk to them. So I think that if we... Yes, we can send a message, certainly.
That would be appreciated. In the meantime, I'd rather not split up my team any more than is necessary, but in the meantime, Ensign Casey is at your disposal. Because frankly, if it's one thing for me to talk to First Officer Mallory, it's another thing if we could talk to her and say that we've found the means of identifying this creature.
In that case, we're running a standard autopsy here. We're mostly scanning these tissues as we bring them out to see if there's anything strange about them, anything that could have been affected by some part of the creature, if not the whole thing. We need to do everything we can to... for example, the creature may have tried to absorb Green after they died, and we're basically trying to determine everything we can. And of course, as Green has perished, it is our duty to investigate and make sure that it is indeed a suicide.
In that case, we could benefit from getting the suicide note if that's all available. I'm no stranger to autopsy, and I have a scan from the the shuttlecraft in the hangar, I should be able to run some trace readings.
If you... Green's quarters are just down the corridor on the right, the third door. If you want to go and look, the note is on Green's computer screen.
Captain, it would also help just to check if there is anything unusual in there, by way of reading.
Of course, Ensign Red Shirt. I've forgotten a damn name. Branson? Ensign Branson. Go with him.
Branson.
Is Branson man or a woman?
The name is Keisha. So
Oh, it's Keisha. Yes,
I'm gonna go
of
with
course.
Yeah.
She nods and will go with Casey. Casey, the door of the the door of the quarters slide open, and inside is a slightly grim scene. The emergency lighting, red as it is, almost highlights the congealed blood on the floor around the main computer terminal. The crewman's bed lies unused. Lies used and unmade, and all around there are bits of paper and empty wrappers for rations, as well as a couple of small data pads. The monitor is on, and you can see text on it.
Well, I hate to say it, immediately there's something quite unusual about this scene. Those who are intending to take their own lives quite often tidy up around themselves. That might only speak of the chaos and hardship that this ship has been under. He will approach the screen, and he will begin to read it, and read it aloud.
So the only thing that... Oh, okay. So what you see on the screen, I'm going to send you via the medium of internet.
We're locked in a slow dance with death, a shape-shifting grim reaper that stalks the corridors. If it doesn't kill us first, the ship will tear itself apart. This way is better. I'm sorry. It's sad, but doesn't immediately change what we're perceiving this to be. He'll begin to start doing general scans around the room, looking at the congealed blood, trying to find anything that's unusual.
So you're mostly just scanning the room, yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
The congealed blood appears to be human blood. From a brief scan that you did in the medbay, you can tell that the DNA of this blood and the person in the medbay are the same. Aside from that, can you give me a science and reason?
2 successes.
Your message.
No. From everything I can tell, this is just a normal habitat. We should tell the captain.
Ozzy
muted.
In the light of the computer monitor, your face is lit up in an almost grim fashion, standing next to this pool of blood underneath the next to the desk. But if you up and leave, then you head back to sickbay, or I am assuming sick bay here.
Yeah. I'm afraid to say there's nothing unusual in the room. I have a copy of the sick note. He hands over a pad where he's typed it up. Not sick note, suicide note.
I'm sorry, I can't come in today. I'm dead.
Look, I'm dead.
Nothing to suggest any maleficence.
No, that would be too simple, wouldn't it?
This is Acting Captain Mallory speaking. As you may know, we now have Chief Engineer Phillips in our custody. She stands accused of mutiny and may very well be the alien intruder, which would explain a great many things about her behaviour of late. A military tribunal will convene within the hour in the main conference room on B deck to determine the Chief Engineer's innocence or guilt. Those who wish to attend must relinquish their weapons to Lieutenant Parrish upon arriving through the computer core. All other access points to this deck have been sealed. That is all. And with that, we're going to end the session.
I'm going to ram this suicide note up Mallory's ass. You have been a bad leader.
Captain, I do not advise that course of action.
It's quite a lot.
As a diplomatic opener.
Yeah,
It would be,
I
yes.
advise rather than shoving it up her arse, beat her to death with it.
So, how is everybody feeling?
Good.
Yeah.
Good,
Fuck
man.
this place.
Shot than I was earlier.
100% successful mission from Talandra's side of things.
Yeah.
All good. I
There's a
get
great big bloody hole in my ship.
Oh, tough.
0% casualty rate.
Let's have a brief debrief from starting with Athan.
What do you want?
What did you learn?
How
What did I learn?
was your wonderful week so far?
Oh, the wonderful week. Well, Athan is either thinking that there is something else going on which is messing with the ship's mind, or these early Earth Starfleet ships had absolutely shocking crew cohesion to turn into Lord of the Flies, and she wants to both help them and nurture them and smack them around the face, and is pinpointing most of her frustration and own, insecurities as a commander onto Mallory, because this shit cannot fly for a Starfleet captain. This is not how you Starfleet captain. You don't put people out airlocks. Under pressure, we do not turn into Battlestar Galactica. Don't read it
Okay,
again. Nope.
Anderson.
I think what Anderson's line other than don't get shot.
Ducking.
Ducking is a bit. Shooting works. Ducking is better. Not sure. Gwen didn't really do an awful lot this episode.
No, your other counterpart did. Oh, fair enough.
My other counterpart is, if we go with what my second in command's learned, my backup character, he's learned that being the person who fights the fires, effectively, people on the bridge saying, "Engineering, can you fix the thing, please?" We go, "Okay."
Well, the thing I'm saying is engineering, can you fix engineering?
Engineering isn't fucked yet.
I do
Yes.
like how this system allows you to build a secondary character. So if your main one dies, you're not bringing in your brother Banderson. You're bringing in somebody who actually has
Fucking Gary.
yeah.
Weird family naming convention. Anderson.
Anderson. That is pretty much how it went. Everybody's Gwen. This is how it works on the moon, Casey.
So tell me about Casey. How is Casey?
Casey's slipping into what I kind of hoped would come more out from the first session. We're starting to see a little bit more of the innocence versus the hardened elements of him. I'm really glad I got to get the line out, "I'm no stranger to autopsy," when he isn't a medical officer. he's learned that this is a very complicated situation, and it's fascinating to see the breakdown of people's trust and the way a ship operates when under this kind of pressure, to the point that when there's imminent danger, a crisis on their doorstep, they just can't put it aside. It really taps into one of his traits, which is somewhere. He's more comfortable in a crowd, so he likes to be around people. And seeing people segment like this is very strange and very upsetting to him.
Okay. So how is Talandra?
Talandra's fine. There was an incident. The incident has been dealt with. We can begin repair work. She thought there was a Romulan ship. That turned out not to be true, which meant that her plan was in theory overkill, but overkill's better than underkill.
If you hadn't detected the mines, that would have gone a lot worse, I can tell you that now.
Talandra. So, pretty much, I don't know how long they're going to take.
Systems, it's okay.
But a lot of repair work can be done in that time. No casualties reported. So we can, I imagine, get the place all nicely swapped up for Athan to sweep back in.
Yeah.
Having been the diplomatic saviour of the Temporal Prime Directive, and we can go back home for tea and scones.
You've even got like another opening for shuttles to come in now through the side of the ship.
Well, let's go get
It's
repaired.
more efficient. When you were talking to the captain over the comms, there was a part of Casey that was like, I really want to talk to Talandra.
Yeah.
I want my support, and she's not here.
I wish
but-
I were there with you, if only because it's always more hilarious when they're like, we're from the future. What are you, some sort of alien? Obviously. Obviously I'm some sort of alien. I mean, I'm excited for next week, but also, there's not going to be much for Talandra to do now that we're not blowing up.
No, Oz, don't break my ship. Put that face away.
He has an entire
Starfleet
wormhole.
protocols.
Well,
And basically, I'm sat quietly reading Technobabble.
I'm sorry, I will try and GM better next time and think of something to distract.
Hush your fucking mouth, you're fine.
No, it's like, can I put in the Romulan ship after all to blow you up? Okay.
No, because then that would be bad GMing, because then we'd done a thing and you're like, nah, it's more fun if the ship blows you up.
Okay.
What you need to do is give her more chances to use her secondary, the medic.
I don't like playing my secondary.
Don't like it.
She's rubbish.
I mean, do you want Branson instead?
What you need is Dr. Ball. Dr. Ball will come and save you.
Okay, so we...
But also, because next event people are going to be coming back to the ship anyway, so...
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I will
That makes
engage
sense.
my cunning plan.
So, once again, we've had a great time. We have been beautiful. You at home have been amazing. But with that, we are now going to roll out.